9:30, so we'll call, please.
Councilmember Remley.
Here.
Ronayne.
Here.
Lunsman. Rife.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Bunceness.
Here.
Olson.
Here.
Rux.
Here.
Mayor Shoneman.
Here, please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. First order of business will be to approve last week's minutes for the meeting, December 16th, 2019. Can I get a motion for that?
Move to approve.
Second.
I've got a motion from Johnson and a second from Rux. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion does carry. Next, we've got an open forum sign-up. We've got a Helen Miles from Leola, South Dakota, here to speak about the animal ordinance. Helen, there's a microphone up there at the podium. Few things to remind everyone. This is generally kind of an opportunity for citizen input, and it's time limited. We're more than happy to hear what you've got to say, but just remember that we have a bit of a deadline of several minutes for you here. So
Yes, I understand completely.
sounds great. Helen.
I read on your paperwork here to begin with that I am not allowed to make any accusations to anybody personally.
You know, and
In
if
which
you,
case,
Helen, if you could sit down or else maneuver the microphone so it's a little closer, that way people that are watching
Better?
online and so forth. Yeah, we just want to make sure we can hear you.
is this better for everyone?
Yeah.
Thank you. I was very upset on the day that I got the call from a young woman who had puppies, and I was to take one of the puppies. The puppies were not 3 months old, and according to your records or your ordinances, until the puppies are 3 months old, it's not a problem for the city to go in and take the puppies and the mother from the person who owns the puppies and the mother at that time. Am I correct? You can look it up yourself. I was not going to spend the time nor the money printing off the city code for you to look at when you have computers that you can look at it for yourself. Now, the puppies did get returned to other people. They didn't go to the Humane Society as I was told they were going to go to by Captain Dubin. He and Police Officer Weaver, or Control Officer Weaver, had decided to take the puppies, and when I got a hold of Mr. Weaver, he made the comment that I was going to give the puppies back to Ashley, not even meeting me, never having seen me ever in his life. He reported this to Captain Dubin, who also had the same attitude. Then I called the city manager, and he made the comment, well, this has been the third time that she's been in trouble. I'm sorry, sir. This is a whole new case, a whole new problem. The puppies didn't have anything to do with her and her previous problems with the officer. Now, amongst all this, I had so much disrespect. And as you can see, in 2017, I had an aortic dissection. 30 days later, I had an abdominal aortic dissection. I should not be here, as you can attest. But I am. And I am angry. And I think all of you gentlemen ought to think, since it is Christmas, as to how you can change your attitude towards everybody, including the animals and the poor people of Aberdeen, so that I don't have to come all the way down from Leola and shake your tree. Now, I used to live in this town, and I am so thankful to God that I do not live in this town anymore. I am done. Thank you for your time. I have no desire to hear what anybody has to say, because it'll all be rhetoric.
Helen, I'm glad that you made it through your surgeries. Thanks for sharing with us today. We've all been shared the excess animal report from the police department, and if some of us haven't reviewed that yet, I'm sure we'll take the opportunity to do so. So thank you for your input here today.
Just remember, gentlemen, I'm not dead yet.
We allowed to comment on this?
I'll allow it. What have you got, Mr. Olson?
Well, I read the report, And I think I'm very familiar with Officer Weaver and the police department, having numerous personal experiences with them. This isn't unusual, but in each of the many experiences I've had with Mr. Weaver, they've always been on a professional level. Mr. Weaver weighs heavily on his experience and training in treating people fairly and courteously and rendering facts and circumstances to draw his conclusions and judgments. I believe these comments were totally out of line based on the facts I read. It seemed like a normal practice of Mr. Weaver, and certainly one that this council endorses through our ordinances. So I think he handled it very professionally.
I think that there was a lot more to the story than we were just informed about as it related to this report, so I think that it's fair to say that it was handled professionally from the city side. Does anyone else have anything else to add?
Just so we're clear, maybe for the rest of the community, the limited number of dogs you can have is 3, correct?
Correct.
And cats is 4, correct?
Well, 4 total animals,
4 total
but
animals.
no more than 3 of those 4 can be dogs.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
And there was 8 in this circumstance. Okay, so let's move along. We've got 2 old business items. First, we've got ordinance 19-12-06, ordinance setting the fees and charges for certain services provided by the city of Aberdeen for 2020, possible second reading and final adoption of the ordinance 19-12-06. Carl, anything new?
No changes since last reading.
It passed without exception last week, so I will take a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion from Nane and second from Remley over there. Does anybody have anything to contribute? Otherwise, Carl, give us a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Remley?
Northeast.
Councilmember Remley? Aye. Ronayne?
Aye.
Rife?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Bunceness?
Aye.
Olson?
Aye.
Rux?
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman?
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got ordinance number 19-12-07, ordinance supplementing the 2019 budget for various activities and expenses, possible second reading and final adoption of ordinance 19-12-07. Carl, again, that is you. Is there anything new?
No changes on this either.
Move approval.
Second.
I've got a motion from Bunsen and a second from Rife. If anyone has nothing else to contribute, Carl, why don't you give us a roll call vote on that ordinance as well?
Councilmember Rux?
Aye.
Olson?
Aye.
Bunceness?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Rife?
Aye.
Ronayne?
Aye.
Remley?
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman?
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got 3 routine city business consent calendar items up for possible approval. Can I get a motion to approve those 3 items?
Move to approve all 3.
Second.
Got a motion from Johnson and a second from Olson. Does anyone have any questions or discussion as it relates to any of those items? Otherwise, Carl, give me a roll call vote on the consent calendar, please.
Councilmember Remley?
Aye.
Ronayne?
Aye.
Rife?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Bunceness?
Aye.
Olson?
Aye.
Rux?
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman?
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we'll move on to the new business. First, we've got confirmation of Mayor Shoneman's appointment of Dr. Paula Langtow to Aberdeen Housing Authority Board, possible approval to the mayor's appointment to the Housing Authority Board for a 5-year term ending 12/31/2024.
So moved.
Second.
I've got a motion from Ronayne and a second from Remley. Does anyone have any questions as it relates to Ms. Langtow's recommendation? Eager and professional. She'll do a great job. Carl, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Rux?
Aye.
Olson?
Aye.
Bunceness?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Rife?
Aye.
Ronayne?
Aye.
Remley?
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman?
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got authorization to return a 2006 Dodge Grand Caravan to the previous owner. Possible approval to return the previous owner a 2006 Grand Caravan for which the city has obtained an abandoned vehicle title, and to authorize the city attorney to sign the title and bill of sale. Ron, can you tell us about that caravan?
Yes, Mayor. As you know, the city has been in the process of taking a number of impounded vehicles and obtaining abandoned vehicle titles on those. As we go through that process, and it does involve a statutory requirement for completing a notice and an application, I'm prepared to say we may have occasion when we are not able to locate somebody, and somebody that if we had made further effort, we might have been able to locate them. This was a situation where we made proper notice as required by the title, but we did have some information to show that we had another address for this person. Once we were made aware of that, unfortunately, it was already too late. We'd obtained the abandoned vehicle title, but rather than dig in, just to admit the mistake, do what we can to try to get the vehicle returned to the owner as soon as we can. So that's why I'm requesting that the council approve return of the vehicle and authorize me to sign the vehicle title and a $0 bill of sale. It's just the easiest way to handle that.
Move approval. Second.
I've got a motion from Bunceness and a second from, was that you, Clint?
Yep.
Mr. Rux, does anyone have any questions for Ron while we're talking about it? Otherwise, do we need a roll call vote on this?
Voice vote should work on this.
All right, so got a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion does carry. Next, we've got surplus of traffic count control equipment, possible approval to declare traffic control equipment surplus property and to donate the equipment to the Brown County Fairgrounds. Robin, can you tell us about that, please?
Typically in the spring, we will do an auction of a lot of our older outdated equipment, things that have been taken out of service, or traffic control stuff. We will end up with some of that equipment every year, and I believe we have a couple years on hand right now. Recently, we received a request from Brown County Fairgrounds manager Kurt Smith asking for some of this equipment so that they can set up basically a stop-and-go caution type set of signals along the track. Apparently, there are a lot of tracks that have this. We typically have equipment that would work for this, and we would get very low dollars for it anyway. So it makes more sense in this case to surplus it and give what they need to them before we go to auction with the remainder of it.
Move approval.
Second.
I've got a motion from Remley and a second from Olson. Does anyone have any questions for Robin or any statements on this? And a voice vote for this as well. Ron?
Yes.
No? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And nay, please say no. Motion does carry. Next, we've got payment number 6, Moccasin Creek Vegetation, B&B Contracting, $10,305.69. Possible approval of payment request number 6 in the amount of $10,305.69 to B&B Contracting for the work on the Moccasin Creek Vegetation Maintenance and Enhancement Project. Robin, you're up again.
B&B has been patiently waiting for their money following the warranty period of this. It's been an interesting process with the Moccasin Creek vegetation program because we went through a drought the first year or so that they put the seeds in, and we've been through basically the creek bed has been flooded the entire 2019 season. Probably the vegetation has changed some looks. We've got a different type of vegetation out there, but it is definitely overgrown. We're going to have to find another way to continue to manage that vegetation if we're going to have it look decent. This last year it was just too wet. We never could get a contractor in there or any of our personnel to be able to do any kind of management on it. But that is our goal, is to keep it from being overgrown like the area has gotten in that 6th Avenue area again. We're recommending approval of the final payment, which was the retainage for B&B. They've gone through the maintenance period and have done the things that contract asked them to do.
And this was 2018 work, it sounds as though.
Correct. 17 and 18, yes.
Move approval.
Second.
So we've got a motion from Olson and a second from Reif. Does anyone have any questions or statements on this one? Otherwise, Carl, give me a roll call vote for this payment, please.
Councilmember Remley,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Rife,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Bunceness,
Aye.
Olson,
Aye.
Rux,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got approval of the bill list for December 23rd, 2019, as you see on your screens. Can I get a motion to pay the bills?
So moved. Second.
Got a motion from Rux and a second from Remley. Does anyone have any questions on these bills? I would like to note that there will be a Verizon bill added for the amount of $32.51 that wasn't able to be printed on this because of the timeline of the document. So otherwise, Carl, can you give us a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Rux,
Aye.
Olson,
Aye.
Bunceness,
Abstain.
Johnson,
Aye.
Rife,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Abstain.
Remley,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Abstain, motion does carry. The bills will be paid. Next, we've got the payroll for the period of December 8th, 2019 through December 21st, 2019, as well as the city's share of Social Security, old age, survivor's insurance, retirement, health, and life insurance. Can I get a motion to make the payroll, please?
Move approval. Second.
Got a motion from Remley and a second from Johnson. Carl, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Remley,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Rife,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Bunceness,
Abstain.
Olson,
Aye.
Rux,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got the city manager's report. Lynn, what have you got for us tonight?
One quick item, for light reading, I provided you a comprehensive listing of all the major accomplishments of all the city departments. And so if you ever have to make any type of presentations for a service club, you can extract information out of there to tell the people what was accomplished throughout the year. That's all I have.
Thank you, Lynn. Does anyone else have anything to add before we adjourn for the evening?
This is nicely done and a good year. Thank you.
Very professional drone shot on the cover. I like that.
License 107?
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I didn't take this picture. Let's assume it wasn't a rogue drone operator breaking scofflaw or taking pictures. Can I get a motion for adjournment, please?
So moved. Second.
Motion from Johnson, second from Bunceness and Johnson. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned. Thank you.